Breaking news this afternoon, the president of UCO has resigned. Patty Newhold Ravikumar making that announcement in an email to campus earlier this afternoon. Good evening, I'm Jessica Higgs. That is our top story at this hour. My co-anchor Jocelyn Schifferdecker has been following the story all afternoon, and she is live now in front of Old North. Jocelyn?
That's right, Jessica. This afternoon, UCO President Patty Newhold Ravikumar announced her plans to leave the university effective January 2023. I'm live outside of Old North here at the campus of UCO right now, and I've been following the story ever since it was announced. Students were informed of this decision via an email from UCO Centralities. This is the email right here. I've talked to some students, and they said that after the events of last semester, they think it's about time for a change. As a reminder, last semester, students were protesting the university and the president as there were talks about budget cuts. It was said that 30 faculty positions were going to be cut, as well as increased tuition. The students I talked to said they were shocked when they saw the announcement, but not completely surprised. And they're hopeful for the future of the university. Take a look.
I think that UCO's community as a whole have had a lot of different emotions and experiences with President Patty. And I think that my personal emotions right now is kind of surprise, but maybe I kind of have an optimistic look for the campus right now. Like there might be a lot of possibilities of a lot of faculty and staff members, a lot less of them being let go.
I think it's a good and bad thing. Good because I've only heard negative things about her in the past and like all the allegations that happened last semester, but also it can be bad because we don't know who the new president will be, so kind of like 50-50.
I know we're broke, so I bet that plays into it, but yeah, that's all I got.
This is actually the first time I'm hearing about it. It is shocking that it hasn't been something that has been posted anywhere, considering we all go here, and that's something that affects everybody on the campus.
Yeah, this is my first time really hearing about it, so I don't know. I also am not that familiar with who the president is now, so it'll be interesting if there's any changes.
I reached out to the university and asked what the next steps will be. They said those have not been determined yet. Some of the students I talked to said they felt like there was some dishonesty in Newhold Ravikumar's years as president, and they hope the next president is more transparent and more involved on campus. Some of the students I talked to said they've been here for 2 to 4 years and they've never once seen her out and about on campus. I asked the university if student considerations will be taken into account, but have received no response yet. Again, this is breaking news. It just happened. The announcement just happened this afternoon, and we will continue to update you as we find out more information. Reporting live from Edmond, Oklahoma, Jocelyn Schifferdecker, UCentral News. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Jocelyn. And I also spoke with multiple professors and staff here on campus, all of which refused to speak with me on camera, most of them wanting their comments to be off the record, but an overwhelming sense of relief was a common theme. The president has been a controversial leader between the budget shortfall and a drop in enrollment. Joining now on set is the editor of The Vista, Ainsley Martinez. Ainsley, The Vista and UCentral have been covering this presidency since the beginning. What are the highlights for you?
Yeah, so it's really been an interesting year, but UCO has received some awards regarding social mobility, but I think a lot of people still remember those protests happening with the budget shortfalls and faculty layoffs, some saying it wasn't really necessary at the time. So I think there is a sort of sense of relief for students and faculty. I talked to Mark Golding, who is the president of AAUP, and he suggested that maybe this will be a positive turnout.
Yeah, for sure. And I do think that there was an overwhelming sense of relief, but also maybe some uncertainty for the future because the new president is going to kind of have to pick up that slack that Patty unfortunately left behind.
Yeah, definitely. And I know Russo regents and state regents will need to determine the next president and vote on that matter as well.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your insight. We know you'll keep us updated with any breaking news. And we have also reached out to the university for information on the next steps and how the new president will be decided. Here's what we are learning from Adrienne Nobles, who is Vice President of Communications and Public Affairs. She said, quote, "The Regional University System of Oklahoma Board of Regents will make decisions on next steps, including the selection process and the ultimate decision on who the next president will be. They have not yet determined those steps," unquote. UCentral will continue to follow this story and bring you more details along the way. In another big story on campus today, you may have seen large crowds near Bronco Lake. Kansas organization Justice for All was here with an invitation to open dialogue about unwanted pregnancy and abortion. UCO Broncos walking to class may have noticed a large crowd by Bronco Lake this morning. The students behind me are not UCO Broncos. In fact, they're from Christian Heritage Academy in Del City, Oklahoma. Most of them juniors and seniors, and as you can see behind me, they are speaking with students on the UCO campus about their thoughts on an open conversation about abortion.
Mainly just to start a conversation somewhere. It's not necessarily trying to get to change people's minds, but we do want to show people that we think that we believe in pro-life.
The organization Justice for All is also joined by young believers in the pro-life movement.
Our mission here in this event is to create a dialogue about abortion and unwanted pregnancy by most people. And so we come with a heart of trying to listen to people, to understand them, ask questions with an open heart, and then try to find common ground when possible.
UCO students from both sides of the aisle were voicing their issues and concerns at these tables. Tensions did get high and a little bit awkward at some points.
When I stumbled upon it, they happened to believe the same way I did. And so I was interested to hear their thoughts and reasons why. And I've kind of just been listening to conversation to see what the other side believes.
It's really interesting that they're led by a group of men and that the women are submitting to following them and their Christian ideals, especially when it comes to female autonomy.
The Justice for All organization wants to have an open forum regarding abortions. They're handing out pamphlets, and if you didn't catch them today, they'll be here next quarter. And those high school students told me that they signed up for this event at the beginning of the school year on a voluntary basis for those who just really wanted to spread their message.
Now to an international story we're following. A deadly disaster in Seoul, South Korea, where at least 153 people are dead and dozens more are injured after a crush in a crowd during a Halloween celebration. Officials are still expecting the death toll to rise. The tragedy happened when too many people crowded into a narrow area. Many were trampled and suffered cardiac arrest. And the man accused of attacking Paul Pelosi, husband of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, has been charged today with attempted kidnapping of a U.S. official and will be arraigned tomorrow, according to the district attorney in San Francisco. Paul Pelosi remains hospitalized. David DePapas is accused of breaking into the Pelosi home in San Francisco on Friday, fracturing Paul Pelosi's skull and injuring his arm and hands with a hammer. A spokesperson says Paul Pelosi is expected to make a full recovery, but the House Speaker says the alleged attack has left her family heartbroken and traumatized.
And kids are getting ready to hit the streets right now for trick-or-treating tonight. The Oklahoma City Police Department wants to offer some advice to make sure everyone has a safe Halloween. They say you should pay attention and put phones and other distractions down. Kids should carry flashlights, glow sticks, or wear reflective tape so they can be easily seen. People should cross streets and corners and crosswalks, and drivers should be on extra alert tonight. And if you are not going trick-or-treating tonight, here's something else you may be interested in. The Oklahoma City Bone Museum is doing an event tonight from 6 to 9. You'll be able to enjoy several activities, including a bounce house, owl palette dissection, raffles, and plenty of candy. Tickets can be bought online or at the door. Adult tickets are $10 and children's tickets are $8. Tickets purchased online in advance are $2 off per person. And Jocelyn, it was a pretty gorgeous day. Really a perfect Halloween.
I was just outside and the weather is gorgeous.
It really is so gorgeous. And I will have more for weather for you after the break.
Plus Central Diversity and sports all coming up. Stay with us.
Can you breathe? Are you okay?
I can breathe now, but
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back. I'm Jessica Higgs. We're here with your UCentral weather, and tonight is trick-or-treating, and it is going to be a perfect night for those little ones. Taking a look at these weather headlines, middle of the week is going to be pretty decent here until we head into that weekend. Come Friday, there is a chance for severe weather, so we definitely want to keep an eye on that and make sure you stay tuned to your local forecast. Taking a look at the current conditions across the state, 70s all across, 73 in Guyman, reaching all the way here, looking pretty good, 59 here in Miami, but that cold front is up in the northeast part of the state, but pretty good, decent weather for today. Tonight, 51 degrees, clear skies, really minimal wind. Might need a light jacket for those trick-or-treaters. It might get a little bit chillier as the sun decides to go down, but pretty perfect night for the little ones going out and getting some candy. Looking at the temperatures across the state for tonight, like I said, gonna get a little chillier once that sun goes down. 42 up in the Panhandle, 49 in Woodward, 47 down in Altus, 51 here in the metro area, 45 in Miami, and 49 down in Idabel. Now we're gonna take a look at this 7-day forecast. Really pretty beautiful for the next 3 days, 70s through Thursday, and then like I mentioned earlier, Friday those storms are going to come in and they really do have a chance to be severe. So you definitely want to make sure that you are paying attention and staying weather aware, just in case. It is Oklahoma, things like to get exciting here. Getting out of the weekend, going to be 60s. Next week looks pretty good, especially when we go to Election Day. Voting weather looks pretty good too. And that's all I have for you guys right now in weather. Jocelyn, back to you.
Thanks, Jessica. That really is perfect trick-or-treating weather. And a major case is in front of the Supreme Court involving affirmative action and universities.
After the break, UCentral's Jayden Ford with Central Diversity. More when we return.
Raised to believe in the power of possibility, to always move forward but never forget where I came from, to value hard work, ingenuity, and hospitality. On one hand, my people are rough and rugged. On the other, refined and elegant. They taught me how to love beautiful things and cherish my past, to seek out adventure, eat well, and to have a good time. So I keep their traditions alive every place I go. They call me Oklahoma City, but you can call me the modern frontier.
UCentral News as a whole, you got to be in those different areas, like being on camera, being off camera, being in the control room. And so I feel like that is what prepared me most about being in the workplace.
UCentral and the Mass Comm department has provided me all the tools and the fundamentals that are needed in order to thrive well and thrive fast at my job.
Maybe it's time to hit the road and visit a place where stories unfold. This is the land of the ultimate road trip, with sights old and new on Route 66. There's fun to be had, so much to do, and a few new surprises before you get through. Oklahoma has the most miles to share of Route 66. It's really quite rare. TravelOK.com will show you the way. Come see for yourself this iconic highway.
Welcome back to Central Diversity. I'm Jayden Ford. The U.S. Supreme Court is set to hear a case that could end affirmative action at colleges.
Students are leading a fight against affirmative action.
It's time for Asian Americans to break up with woke diversity.
They're at the center of a lawsuit against Harvard, accusing the Ivy League school of discriminating against Asian Americans to make more room for Hispanics and blacks. Calvin Yang, who's now a sophomore at UC Berkeley, claims he was denied admission to Harvard because of his race.
It goes to show that there is a trend here, a trend where Asian Americans are systematically getting discriminated because of who we are.
Now the case against Harvard and a separate but related suit against UNC Chapel Hill is coming before the Supreme Court.
The current law.
Conservative activist Edward Bloom has been leading the crusade to end affirmative action for nearly a decade.
Classifying students by race and ethnicity, treating them differently because of their race and ethnicity, it's unfair. It has been problematic, and I think the nation is ready for this.
Justices will meet Monday to consider whether colleges and universities can take race into consideration as a factor for admission. Challengers are targeting minority admissions programs at Harvard and the University of North Carolina, saying that they violate equal protection. Hanging in the balance is the future of these admission plans at hundreds of schools, and those schools have relied on legal precedent for decades to achieve the educational benefits they say flow from diverse student bodies. But like Roe v. Wade, the new conservative-leaning justices appointed by the former President Trump may be ready to break precedent again. And a pastor in Atlanta, Georgia, uses her position to help the community understand the importance of voting through education. Reverend Warnock hosted the Souls to Polls rally to encourage the churchgoers to cast their ballot early on the last Sunday of early voting.
Halloween Ends made $3.8 million on Halloween weekend, falling to 5th place. Smile took 4th.
Native American Heritage Month kicks off November 3rd. The UCO Office of Diversity and the Native American Student Association will host a kickoff event at 2 p.m. November 3rd in the Lecture Hall of Liberal Arts. UCO alumni Savannah Walters will present Our Land at the event, and there will also be performances of co-ed drummers of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. For questions, contact the Office of Diversity and Inclusion for more. The UCO Equal Opportunity is collecting benefits for the women's research of the BGLTQ+ Student Center. Through the month of October, donations will allow the following to be accepted. Pads, tampons, panty liners, and menstrual cups will be accepted. Donations will be dropped off on campus at the Women's Research Center at Thatcher Hall, room 106. For more questions, contact David Bell, Program Coordinator for the UCO Equal Opportunity. Back to you guys at the desk, Jessica.
Thank you, Jaden. And when we return, I will have another look at our weather tonight on this Halloween evening.
And listen to this. A former UCO running back who turned pro came back for homecoming.
Stay tuned.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brooke Niver with your sports update. The UCO wrestling team was selected as second in the MIAA preseason coaches poll. The team went 4-0 last season to win the conference championship. The Broncos then won the NCAA Super Region 4 title before finishing as the national runners-up at Division II National Championships. Central is ranked 4th in the country and begins their season this Friday against Northern State at the Hamilton Fieldhouse. Central Oklahoma's volleyball team swept Missouri Western this past weekend, beating them 3-0. Freshman Lindsey Horan put up 35 assists, and the team had a total of 45 kills in that matchup. Sadly, the Broncos will not play at home anymore this season, but Central has 2 road matches this week to end their 2022 league play. UCO football alumni Joe Aska came back to campus this past weekend for homecoming. He partnered with the True U organization to sign autographs for donations. True U helps men and women who have survived trauma by providing counseling for them. Former Bronco and NFL running back attended the homecoming festival before the game and also joined the UCO captains at the 50-yard line for the coin toss before kickoff. To learn more about True U and make donations, visit their website, thetrueumovement.org. NFL season is almost halfway done and players are trying to put their name in record books. Tennessee Titans running back Derrick Henry tied a record this weekend as his team caught a win against the Houston Texans. Henry has been a dominant player for the Titans and tied the 200-yard rushing record, which is currently held by O.J. Simpson and Adrian Peterson. Henry carried the ball 32 times for 219 yards with 2 touchdowns. In the past 6 games, he has rushed 200 or more yards. America's favorite NFL team got their 6th win this season. The Dallas Cowboys beat the Chicago Bears 49-29. This was the second week back for Dak Prescott after his thumb injury. He completed 21 out of 27 passes for 250 yards with 2 touchdowns. After Ezekiel Elliott got injured, Tony Pollard got 3 of the 7 touchdowns for the Cowboys. Dallas scored on their first 4 possessions for the first time since 2014. Week 8 wraps up tonight with Cincinnati Bengals playing the Cleveland Browns. That's all I have today for your Bronco update. Make sure to keep up with Bronco Athletics on broncosports.com. Have a great rest of your day, Edmond, and remember, roll shows. Back to Jocelyn and Jessica at the desk.
Thank you, Brooke. Yes, I'm definitely happy that the Dallas Cowboys got the win for sure.
After the break, we'll have one last look at weather.
And we have a spooky celebration throwback coming up. Stay tuned. Sorry, I got...
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision... Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah. Invent...
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world. Told you she's super smart. If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
In the land of wonder and awe, you won't believe you see what you saw. Where there's something to do for young and for old, where stories are written and then they're retold. Visit Travelok.com today. Come see for yourself and come out to play.
Recapping our top story, the president of UCO has resigned.
Patty Newhold Ravikumar will exit UCO at the end of January. The UCO family learned of this via email this afternoon. Her reign as president was controversial with budget problems and enrollment declines. In her email, she said she was proud of being named as one of Newsweek's top online colleges and fundraising growth. We will bring you more details as we learn more about the next steps for the university. And today was a gorgeous Halloween,
It was
Jocelyn.
beautiful. It couldn't be more perfect weather.
I know, it really can't. I'm excited to go get my kids' costumes on and go trick-or-treating. It might be a little bit chilly, you guys, so you definitely might want to bring a light jacket with you, especially when that sun goes down. But, you know, overall, I don't know. I feel like Halloween's always like significantly
it's
cool.
always freezing. Like I remember in the past, I had to like put jackets on over my costume,
and then
I
you
was
can't
so
even see the
upset.
costume.
I was so upset.
Exactly. Well, it shouldn't be a problem for that tonight. 70s through the rest of the week, and then when we hit Friday and into that weekend, definitely that cold front is going to come in. Storms are going to be cause for concern, especially on Friday. Definitely want to stay weather aware and make sure you are staying tuned to your local forecast, and we will have an update for you obviously throughout the week on UCentral. But then once Sunday hits, clouds are out of the way, looking much prettier as we head into next week, and especially on Tuesday. Tuesday's looking pretty good too. I know I don't have a graphic there yet, but Tuesday is election day, so if you're heading to the polls, as of right now, you should not need anything, an umbrella or anything, but hey, it is Oklahoma, so who knows? Definitely need to stay weather aware, especially if you're going to have to wait in long lines to vote. So hopefully, fingers crossed for some good election weather. But tonight is Halloween, and I'm so excited. Obviously, it's my favorite holiday. I'm wearing.
I know, we got the orange going on today.
I know, we always
Look at
match.
us.
Look at us. But yes, I'm very excited. Jocelyn, what are you doing tonight?
I actually have work right after this, so I'm not necessarily celebrating today. But, you know, I always my mom always made homemade costumes in my years past.
Oh, cute.
So, and I wanted weird costumes too. Like I was a French poodle at one point. I was a jellyfish, wasn't really normal.
I love that. My kids are being Elsa, my daughter's being Elsa, and then my son is being Steve from Minecraft. So I'm learning about that world. But we're definitely going to stay in my mom's neighborhood. Definitely going to get some glow sticks out.
I was about to say, make sure you bring the flashlights.
Yes, safety tips like the Oklahoma City Police Department mentioned. We definitely want to pay attention, put those devices down if you can. Take your pictures at home, but try not to be on your phone when you're walking with those kiddos, and definitely carry glow sticks or flashlights.
And if you're driving, make sure you're extra alert, especially in those neighborhood areas.
Especially in those residential neighborhoods. We definitely don't want any accidents tonight,
Yeah.
and it's getting dark. Daylight savings is coming up this weekend.
We get an extra hour. Right?
Absolutely. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jessica Higgs.
And I'm Jocelyn Schifferdecker. Have a great night and happy Halloween.